Good evening. I would like to answer a quick question that was asked to me by someone. He knew that I'm a seminarian. He asked me a question, Christian, how can I maintain a life of prayer? First, I have to see that question as a very important question that any Christian has to ask himself at any time. How can I maintain a life of prayer? In order to answer this question, I would like to focus much more on St. Paul in his first letter to Thessalonians, chapter 5, verse 17. St. Paul said, "Pray without ceasing." That's how I would like to answer that question. How can I maintain a life of prayer? Yes, pray without ceasing. Yes, it's true. You can't be God's child, you can't be God's son and daughter if you do not pray, and if you do not pray without ceasing. You can be a true Christian, you can be a true Catholic if you do not maintain a life of prayer. In sport, for example, what we see in sport is that players or athletes, they train themselves before games or before any competitions. It is by training that they maintain that better quality of theirs as athletes. For someone who knows, for example, this player Ronaldinho, many knew that he was a great player, a really legend in the soccer world. But he could not done a much longer career because he was not training too much. He was a party guy and was not training. He was only counting on his natural gift. In order to maintain your own career, you need to train daily. It is the same even in life of prayer. To maintain a life of prayer, you need to be in the rhythm of praying daily. You have to pray every single day. But the big problem is not just praying or wanting to pray, but the most difficult thing is how to maintain that life of prayer. In fact, I have many friends who begins a life of prayer, beginning it easily, they rise up in life of prayer, but they will fall easily because it is difficult for them to maintain that new life of prayer. So what I'm talking here is not just about prayer, because we have many knowledge about what prayer is and what prayer is not. But what is most important here is how can I, after listening to this talk, how can I maintain a solid life of prayer? There is a big difference between a champion and a loser. And the big difference is that a champ do every day what a loser does sometimes. So, for example, in a gym, a champ, someone who is meant to be a champ, train 8 hours a day and is training every single hours. And the loser, what does he do? He lift a dam for 2 minutes, and after that he drop down, he take his phone and check on his phone and continue that. Tomorrow in the pitch he will not do anything. So a champ train every day. If you want to become also a champion in prayer, you need to know how to pray every day. You need to train every day. But first, I would like to ask you a question. I've been talking about prayer and what prayer required. But what do you understand first by prayer? What is prayer for you?